Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So it has been a while. I have been really sick and I don't know whether it still shows in my voice or not. So if my voice sounds a little funny, you'll just have to bear with me. I wanted to do a quick update as I have had so many questions on the 75-gallon tank and the issues with the ick and did it work, what exactly did we do. So I am going to do an update video on that today for you guys. So as you can see, the fish are all still in the tank. We did lose just one of the harlequins and I'm not quite sure exactly what happened there, in that all the other harlequins, or most of the harlequins, barely even showed a single spot, but one of them was really bad, and I do mean absolutely covered in it, and I'm assuming that that is the one that didn't make it. The pufferfish, who were also extremely bad with it, are completely clear now. The tank has been under treatment for, we're going on 3 weeks I think now, and we have done it with just the heat treatment, and that's basically putting the tank up to, we did up to 88 degrees, and I monitored the fish very closely just to make sure that they were showing no signs of stress. They were all still eating, and in fact, talking about eating, I have some food here, so let me put that in for them and they can munch on that while I talk. There we go. I've put some brine shrimp and some bloodworms in. So the tank went to 88 degrees and we kept it there for a little over 2 weeks, and then just recently we have knocked it down a degree, and within the next week we will bring it down several more degrees as well. So we're still sort of keeping it up there just to be absolutely sure, because I don't want them to go backwards and to start again. I want to make sure that we have completely taken care of it. During that time I did only do, I think, 3 water changes during the first 2 weeks. Yeah, the first 2 weeks we did 3 water changes, I think it was, and then this last week we've done just 1 water change. So I didn't really increase those. I know that they say that you're supposed to, but my biggest fear was the temperature dropping, because the fish was so bad with the ick. I was just really worried that if the temperature went below that 88 degrees, then we might kickstart it off again, and I just felt the fish couldn't have handled it. So we decided that we wouldn't do all the water changes that you're supposed to do, that we would just do an extra 1 per week. So you can see from the video that the fish are extremely active, and like I say, we did sadly just lose the 1 harlequin. I'm so relieved that the pufferfish made it through, because they were extremely bad with it, but thankfully they have all made it through. Now the plants, some of them are looking just a little worse for wear, and that's the Amazon swords there. They're not looking too wonderful, and then I've got another one over here that you can see is looking a little sad and sorry. So I'm hoping that now the temperature is on its way down in the tank, that the plants will start to pick up. So we have been doing some fertilizer now in the tank, because I did hold off doing that. I just didn't want to add anything into the tank that might stress out the fish anymore, or just sort of change what was going on. Now if you are going to put the temperatures up in your tank, you must make sure that you do have a lot of aeration at the surface. So we did make sure that this one was bubbling like crazy, and then we did also make sure that this one was making sort of like splashing and a lot of bubbles as well. But the fish really didn't show any sign of stress whatsoever, and it is something that we did monitor very closely, because I know that obviously those temperatures are very high. Right now the tank is sitting at 86 86, I think it says 86 degrees. So in the next week or so, like I say, we're going to just keep bringing it down slowly, but I'm not in any rush to do that because I really don't want any relapse. So I just want to make sure that we have fully taken care of it. So if any of you are battling with ick right now, this is definitely a method I would recommend. It does require patience within that first week. For those of you that have seen the video, you saw that our fish were really bad. They actually got even worse than that, if that was even possible. I did think at one point we were going to lose them. The spots just got so much worse, and I think it was at about day 8 or 9 I was starting to think this is just not working. And we decided that obviously we were into it now, there was nothing else we could do, and so we just decided to continue with it. And then I think it was on about day 10 or 11, all of a sudden it was like there were no spots, and they went from being absolutely covered to virtually no spots whatsoever. And then since then there are now no spots at all, and I don't know if they're going to let me get up close. They don't usually. They swim way too fast, but there are no spots on them now whatsoever. So hopefully the tank will recover well, the plants will recover, and the fish will get back to normal. So now there is one thing I want to show you guys in this tank. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. I've just seen it, and unfortunately it's just gone in the wood, and I don't know whether it'll come back out. But we have a cull survivor in here, and I haven't been able to catch it to get it out. I am totally amazed it has survived, because it's run the gauntlet of these fish that will eat anything basically. Obviously the puffer fish, they will eat anything. There it is. I don't know whether you can see it right there. And the Pictus catfish, obviously they could have quite easily eaten it when it was small, but it has survived and it is doing really well. Every time I feed the tank, we do get to see it on a very regular basis. I did think about trying to catch it, and I did have one go at trying to catch it, and it got to the point that basically if we want to tear the tank apart, then yeah, we'd be able to catch it, but I'm not tearing the tank apart just to try and catch one little tiny fish. So hopefully it will continue to thrive. It is growing really well, and it doesn't have its ventral fins, but as you can see it is a cellophane, and it's starting to get little like red patches on its head. So I have no idea how this little one survived, but as it has survived, then we're going to keep it in this tank because obviously it's grown up in here, and it certainly does seem very happy. It has survived the big outbreak of ick, and obviously the very high temperatures as well, although betta fish can actually cope comfortably with those temperatures, so that won't have been too big of a deal. But even so, this little one is a big survivor, so we're going to keep it in here for the time being, and I'm hoping as it matures and maybe gets a little more outgoing, then I might be able to get it out of here. But we may just keep it in here because it has grown up in here and it's made its own territory. It lives under here for the most part, and it also does like to live in this sort of Anubias nest, as it were, or Anubias tree over here. So that's the update on this tank. We will be doing an update on our betta fish juveniles on Tuesday. They will be 3 months old next week. I just cannot believe that. So I'm going to be doing a full update on them. There's been a lot of change in their colour, which if you follow us on Instagram, you will have seen some of those videos. We are also going to be changing the format of our videos in maybe how we do things and how often we upload. We're also going to be changing up some of our fish as well, so we do plan on rehoming some of them, and I will talk about that in a later video. So if you don't want to miss these changes and see what is going on with our channel, then go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't hit that notification bell, then go ahead and do that, and then you'll know when we upload a video. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.